feel a bit like a taxi driver, but I'm actually not a taxi driver, but it feels a bit like one. What I'm actually doing is I'm going to pick my son up from a party. So this is Saturday night live. Okay, this is a bit of a different video today. What I thought I would do is, it's Saturday night and I'm out driving off to pick my son up near one of the major towns where we live, a town called Stourbridge. And one of the complaints we've had recently, certainly in this area, is that there's no sign of any police at all. So I thought I'd do an experiment. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just drive from here to go and pick my son up, and I will let you know if I see a police car or officer or anything like that, because you'd think they'd be out and about on a Saturday night. So if I see one, I'll holler. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, this isn't very exciting for you, is it? So I'll talk about something while I'm driving along. The police have got a really hard job on at the moment, and the Conservative Party are saying there is no link between the rising crime and the number of police officers we've got. Those two don't relate. I think they do, and I think most other people think they do as well. You can't, if you go around and look at what's happening in the areas around by where you live, you'll see a lot more young people hanging about. So we haven't got the police officers to kind of patrol and move these kind of groups of people along. Not that saying that they're all causing trouble, but they're hanging about because, again, due to cuts, we've got cuts in the youth service as well. So there are very few places for young people to go late at night. So they're hanging about the streets. So yeah, they start to do silly things. They play about, they joke about, and then that starts to turn into sort of nuisance behaviours and things like that. So it can be a real problem. Seen a lot of taxis, haven't seen any police yet. And you know, all these issues come together. So when you start cutting vital services that much, then you're going to have a problem, and they need to recognise that it's a problem and do something about it. I'm looking now, we're down by, there's a shop over the road, no police there, no police cars by me or anything like that. Nothing. So somebody speeding there. There'd have been a police car, he'd have been caught. Can you hear them? Those are all the joyriders. There they go. Where's the police? Nowhere. So that kind of proves my point. You see, because there's nobody about, they feel that they don't have a problem in flaunting the law. And it's a real serious issue. So I'm getting very close to sort of Stourbridge now, and I still haven't seen a police car. And you might say that's grossly unfair, because, you know, it might just be the possibility that, you know, there's no police about. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go past where I'm going to pick my son up from. Sorry son, you're going to be picked up about 5 minutes later. And I'm going to go round, just to give it a chance, round the Stourbridge Ring Road, okay, which is the main road all the way round Stourbridge, okay, which you would suspect at this time of night that you would actually see some police about somewhere. So let's have a look. Still haven't seen them. We're now sort of literally on the cusp, just pulling up at these traffic lights now, on the cusp of the main town centre. Cars just pulled straight in front of me at traffic lights. See, they don't care. Nobody there to stop them. Nobody at all. Car 54, where are you? If you don't know what that is, Google it. Or Dixon of Dock Green, Starsky and Hutch, The Professionals. I used to watch that on a Friday night. That was great. Okay, I'm coming into the ring road now. Here we go, round the ring roads. A couple of cars parked up on the sides, picking people up, dropping them off. Taxis. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3. 3 taxis. Nothing wrong with that, of course. It's Saturday night. They're dropping people off, picking them up. People out having a good time, enjoying themselves. No police cars whatsoever. Going past a petrol station here. There might be a police car in there. Is there a police car in there? Sometimes they hang out at petrol stations. No sign of them there. Going past the Mercedes-Benz garage. This area is the MP for here is Margot James, who voted for all the budget cuts, 1.3 billion of them, the latest cuts, which of course is going to have an impact on many things locally. But yeah, she's not opposed the problems with the police cuts. Matter of fact, she's actually said that the police force have been given some money, and yet the West Midlands Police Force have squandered that money on decorating and having a nice new office. That must be some office. These are the sort of rubbish and spin that we get from our local MPs, who quite frankly don't know their backside from their elbow. Right, gone round now, coming past the big Tesco's at Stourbridge. No police car. Thought that might have been a police car, but it turns out it's a taxi. And we've got another red light, so we've got to pull over and stop. I have a taxi behind me. Still no police, so I'm going to have to come off the ring road where I started and go around and pick my son up. So when I come off the ring road, I will end this video. I hope you found this interesting, because it is quite a long video, but it was worth an experiment. I think it was worth doing. And we heard some joyriders in there. I hope that's come out on the video, because that's the sort of thing we have to put up with on a Saturday night in our area. Cars, joyriding all over the place. And the lights are changing again, and off we go. So we're going around the last section of the ring road now, back to where we started. And still no sign of a police officer. Now I do want to emphasise, I'm not getting at the police here. They've probably been called out to some emergency somewhere, and they're having to prioritise the things that they're doing. They are doing a very, very difficult job, but I'm just trying to highlight the fact that there are not enough police officers to manage the area. Okay, you could say again as well, there's not much going on, so what's, you know, you don't really need any police officers. But it's the presence of them that actually can deter sometimes from antisocial behaviour and any problems. Another taxi, and that's it. We're out of the main drag now, and I'm round to go and pick my son up. So there you go. We need more police officers. We need more funding. About time you did something about that. Watching the detective. Here we are.
Where the f have you been?
I got pulled over by the police.